All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here. A little bit under the weather, but still here talking about real music in real time for few real people out there, just like you, just like me. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate those folks, especially people who are still over on Patreon. We're in a new month, so I could really use your support over there. $1 a month, $2 a month. Um, Kind of looking for like-minded folks who enjoy the content here and who want to help the channel. Um, Big news yesterday, which I didn't really touch on. Ozzy Osbourne says his touring days are over. Wow. 74 years old. He says this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to share with my loyal fans. He says, as you may all know, 4 years ago, I had a major accident where I damaged my spine. My one and only purpose during this time has been to get back on stage. He says, my singing voice is fine. However, after 3 operations, including stem cell treatments, endless physical therapy sessions, and most recently, groundbreaking cybernetics treatment, my body is still physically weak. He says, I am honestly humbled by the way you've all patiently held on to your tickets for all this time, but in all good conscience, I have now come to the realization that I'm not physically capable of doing my upcoming European and UK tour dates, as I know I couldn't deal with the travel that's required. Believe me when I say that the thought of disappointing my fans really F's me up. Of course, Ozzy has to drop at least one F-bomb here. Never would I have imagined that my touring days would have ended this way. My team is currently trying to come up with ideas where I can perform without going from city to city or country to country. You know what? I totally understand Ozzy here. Just traveling to concerts is a pain in the butt. You know, if you got to go 2 or 3 hours in the car and then 2 or 3 hours back, not all of us can buy fancy hotel rooms like some rock stars do, and then they stay there for more time than they need to, and they put it on the company credit card. Allegedly, right? Allegedly. We don't know this for sure. Anyway, Ozzy says, I love you all. Says, I want to thank my family, my band, my crew, my longtime friends, Judas Priest, who were, I guess, supposed to be on tour with Ozzy, and of course, my fans for their endless dedication, loyalty, and support. Ozzy is 74 years old, and he's been dealing with a lot of health issues for quite some time. For a while, he was struggling to even walk. That was after he had the surgery. He talks about his family, his wife, who has stuck by him through thick and thin and crazy. 18 years ago, Ozzy said he was diagnosed with, I can't believe it's that long ago, with Parkinson's syndrome, a genetic condition which has symptoms similar to that of Parkinson's disease, such as body shakes. At the time, he said that he was relieved his debilitating body tremors were from Parkin and not from his lifetime of drug abuse. Now, I did see some comments from a certain rock star who I've talked about recently, complaining about all this fake last tour stuff, like no more tours, because that's what Ozzy called this. I guess, I have complained about that too, but in the case of Ozzy, cut the guy some slack. He's trying to go out on tour, right? And he just can't do it. I get it if you're talking about Kiss, if you want to throw them under the bus, their endless farewell tour. And a lot of bands do this. They say, hey, this will be the last time you get to see me, so you better pay $400 a ticket for those nosebleed seats in order to enjoy whoever it is. And I get it. This is geezer rock. And for those of you, that like to critique this channel because I don't talk about certain bands that have come along since all the geezers were, in their prime, here's the scoop on that. I just don't like most of it. And hence, that's why I don't talk about it. This channel is probably for a certain age category, which is depressing, because I don't like to think of myself in those terms, but that's the reality of it. So even though I'm not the biggest Ozzy fan on the planet, this is kind of sad news. 74. Again, 74 being the new 95 or whatever, especially these days, 74. With all that Ozzy has been through, it's good that he's at least still here and he's still contemplating ways to maybe do a few shows here or there. So good for Ozzy for number one, recognizing that he wasn't going to be able to do this tour, and number two, for still wanting to entertain. He says his voice is in good shape. His latest album doing quite well, but we want to keep Ozzy around for a little while longer. Again, even if you're not the biggest Prince of Darkness fan, having Ozzy here is very entertaining and very good, because again, Ozzy is one of those characters, and really we don't have as many characters in the world as we used to have. So that's my ridiculous take on the Ozzy situation. Wishing him well and many years of good health, and his wife Sharon and his family, who are constantly in the public eye, because that's the way they like it, right? That's the way they roll. And speaking of that, I roll the same way. That's why I do these videos. And again, thank everybody out there for supporting this channel into another month. Don't forget about YouTube memberships. Really easy to support this channel. And yes, I will be talking about new stuff, new music now and then. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people think I don't even talk about new music. So it's really interesting. It just shows why I struggle with the human race these days, because no matter what you do, you're not going to make everybody happy. And I think, what was it, Ricky Nelson said in a song that sometimes you just have to please yourself. So that's what I'm working on here. All right, I am done. Tough to get through this today. Again, my voice not at 100%, and at least I'm sitting upright and attempting this. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.